And we are live. Are we live? Can everybody see me? Hello, everyone. I'm Nicole Jolly. Welcome to True Food TV. Let me know who's here. Let me know your name and where you're rating from or watching from. Hey Han, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome everyone. We just dropped a new episode, Chickpea. How does it grow? It's our, I think, 5th episode of season 3, our 19th crop, I think, which is super exciting. We're almost at 20. I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know if you watched that episode, how many times you watched that episode. I'm going to be taking your questions today. I'm going to be talking about behind the scenes stuff that didn't make it into the video because, as always, there's lots of great stuff that we just don't have time to get into the video. And I'm also going to talk about a super exciting new way that you can be a part of the True Food TV team. So hang in there with me during this hour that I'll be here chatting with you. Welcome everybody. I'm seeing Canada and LA and Indonesia. We chose this time so that we could hopefully get more of you from around the world. But I would love to hear from you, even those of you who will be watching this in the playback. I'd love to hear from you whether this is a good time. So we are going live today on Saturday. It's noon Eastern time. So let me know if this is like something that a good time that we should continue in the future. And if not, tell me what time times would work best for you. Is Saturday a great day for you guys? Would you prefer a weekday evening or something like that? So, hi everyone, welcome. And this, of course, is True Food TV. Let me show you where else you guys can find us. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all at True Food TV. Join us there. I'm constantly keeping up with those things, chatting with you there, answering your questions, putting up behind the scenes clips and pictures and things like that. So please join me there as well. And Mark Jolly is in the chat space. He is moderating this right now, so you can look out for him. Maybe he can say a little hi in the chat. And yeah, so let's get started. So I just want to say that like Chickpeas was so much fun to shoot. It was the first time that I got to ride in a big combine harvester, which from the beginning of this series has been like a goal of mine. I happen to live in an area where there's not a lot of crops that are harvested by a combine harvester. So I knew that I had to get out west to finally film that. And we had this opportunity to do chickpeas, which was one of those crops that I've just been dying to do and was so thrilled to do it. It was my first time out in the Pacific Northwest. I know I have a lot of you there that, are maybe in the chat room today, but certainly who watched the series and chat with me on social, who live in the Pacific Northwest. And wow, it really knocked my socks off. That landscape, I don't know, those of you who've seen the video, what did you think? I mean, I just thought it was absolutely breathtaking. Just driving through that area, my jaw was on the floor. The United States is so big and there are so many varied landscapes, and I had never seen such wide open spaces, but with such lovely contours, of the land. So many colors, and every, you turn a corner and you see a different vista. So it really was just breathtaking to be there. And of course, Mark was droning and we had lots of amazing footage to show you in that episode. And I want to talk about driving in that combine harvester. How many of you, let me look in the comments, how many of you have ever been in a combine harvester? Do we have any farmers here? Or any people who are lucky enough to know? Thank you. People who are saying like the cinematography is beautiful. Thank you, Han. should do soybeans next. We're going to get to that stuff. So driving in a combine harvester, I was a little bit nervous to actually drive the combine harvester, but just to be in there on the Palouse, right, where we filmed, the hills are so steep. I would see these harvesters and just think, how are they not rolling down the hillside? And I was dying to get in there and feel if you felt like you were going to roll down the hillside. And I have to say, like, I think you guys saw there is a moment in the video where I say I'm literally like pressing down. My feet were pressing down so that I could like stay seated because we were so vertical, and it was so true. But you do have a sense of like the combine being really sturdy because that header is so wide. The header is the thing that is like cutting the chickpea plants down. And so you don't feel like you're going to roll off. But I don't know if you could also notice that, but the visibility, the sort of the dust that got kicked up, not only went out behind us, which was great for Mark, who is shooting the video. I say that facetiously. It was also really difficult sometimes to see where we were going. And Doug Stout, the farmer that I was riding in the really big combine with, he was saying that, you know, at night when they keep harvesting after dark, it's really difficult to see where you're going with the dust and the lack of light, and there's no lights out there, right, on the Palouse. So he said you really just have to trust the GPS, and you know, it's quite high tech. These combines are really high tech. It's like a little video game, you know, they're using like a joystick and stuff to do a lot of the stuff, a lot of the driving and whatever. I'm not going to be technical. I'm not even going to pretend to know what they're doing with that thing. But I know they do have maps, and that's what they trust. They just trust their equipment. But sometimes it was like, wow, it seemed pretty hairy to be figuring out where we were headed. But anyway, so So also another thing that didn't get into the video was when I was driving with Travis. Travis was the farmer who kind of like folded himself into the little gleaner with me, which is the smaller combine, and taught me how to drive that thing. And one thing that didn't make it into the video was like right before he exits the cab, he actually says, "Okay, so if this goes on fire, just don't worry about anything. Just get out of the cab." So I was like, wait, what? If it goes on fire? So evidently, like, there's a real danger to the dust, the chickpea dust, getting stuck in the exhaust pipe. And if it builds up on the equipment, it can go on fire. And in fact, Travis had told me that like a week before, there was a neighbor whose combine had gone on fire, and it was a pretty big deal. Obviously, he was safe, but you know, his equipment was gone, and there was, you know, a huge emergency response. So it's a real deal. So like to prevent that, they do a lot of like daily maintenance on their vehicles to prevent fire. But it was like very real enough that he sort of warned me, just get out of the cab. Like don't save your camera or whatever. But that didn't make it in. But you know, one thing that also struck me when I was there, and that example of, you know, the neighbor whose combine had gone on fire, you know, there's a real sense of community there. And all of those farmers in particular are part of the same co-op, right? I mentioned PNW Co-op, which supplies all the chickpeas to Sabra Hummus, and Sabra was our amazing partner on this video. But there's a sense of community there, and everybody kind of knows where everybody's at. And if a farmer really does need help, the farmers around will stop what they're doing, stop their own harvest, and come and help the person in need for various reasons. And often it's like an equipment breakdown, and you know, maybe some rain is coming through, and they know that they can't get the harvest done. It was a really lovely thing to see that it wasn't a super competitive environment at all. It was really like, all right, guys, let's all get this done together. Even though they are pretty much competing against each other on the market. But it was really lovely to see, and I think that's probably pretty common in agriculture. Certainly in the with the farmers that I've seen, it's really a really tight knit. We're going to help each other out kind of occupation, which is really sweet. So let me just pause and say hello again. Hi, I'm Nicole Jolly. Welcome to True Food TV. Make sure you guys, if you haven't subscribed, of course, hit that subscribe button. But most importantly, hit the bell button for notifications. You don't want to miss a video. Don't want to miss these live streams, right? I want to see you. So make sure you're hitting the notifications. Join us on all of these social channels. And I am going to be taking your questions. Gosh, let me just see. Welcome to Spain, Costa Rica, India, Nepal, Morocco, Sweden, England. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hello, lovely people. Great to have you with me. Let me just take a pause in my own chatter and take a few chickpea related questions that I'm seeing. Heinrich Dyer, you asked, will chickpeas grow in South Africa? And I got another comment about that. And the truth is, I don't know. I know that I know that there's a lot of interest in that. I have not come across chickpeas in South Africa, so I'm sorry, I can't answer that question. I don't know for sure, but I can try to look into it and write a comment down below and see if I can find out for you guys. Hey guys, hi everyone, hello. Okay, so so Han, hi Han, you're a regular, you've been with us a really long time, nice to see you. You say, in the video, you mentioned that they grew hybridized chickpeas. Do they taste different from country to country? That's an awesome question, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I do also want to make a distinction. I got a lot of comments asking if these particular chickpeas were GMO. And I think a lot of people get confused because I did talk about crossbreeding, and I think it's really important to make this distinction between what crossbreeding is and genetic modification. So crossbreeding is what people have been doing for centuries to sort of when you see a certain trait in a plant, maybe say a blueberry plant grows particularly big fruit, right? But you really like the taste of this smaller blueberry, for instance, right? Well, what you could do is take maybe the pollen from one plant and use it to fertilize the plant of another, and that's what crossbreeding is. It's taking what Mother Nature would be doing, but you're doing it intentionally, right? Just experimenting, seeing what could come out of that cross. Whereas genetic modification is done in the lab, and you're doing it on a genetic level, turning genes off, taking genes out, inserting traits, that sort of thing. So back to your question, Han, which was hybridized chickpeas, which was the result of crossbreeding some varieties from Syria that had been bred to withstand this particular blight. And if I remember, it's called Ascochyta blight, I believe. It was, and they brought them back and crossbred them with some chickpeas that had been growing locally on the Palouse, and from that they were able to grow an industry out of chickpeas because they were able to withstand that blight. Whether the chickpeas actually taste differently from country to country, I want to say that to an expert palate, perhaps yes, but mostly, of course, from the hybridization, if you're selecting for traits that are for flavor, certainly then, but also like all plants, right? Just like we think of wine in particular, right? The terroir, the climate, the soil, whether the season was rainy or particularly hot, all of that does get reflected in the taste of food. Maybe it's as simple as it was a very dry year for a particular crop, and so There wasn't a lot of sugar development as in other years, et cetera, et cetera. The environment always affects the flavor. Whether you and I can actually taste those differences is another question. But that is a totally great question, Han, and you probably know a lot more about that as well. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How do they manage the farm and protect it from pests? That's one question. So there was a lot of questions about that because we did talk about weed management and pests. So particularly pests, insects. If you guys remember in this video, we did talk about how the chickpea has a natural defense mechanism in the acid on the pods. It's secreted in the pods and on the stems and the leaves. That's sort of the hairy-like glands. They secrete an acid. It doesn't mean that the insect won't try to bite it. They will try to bite the chickpea to eat it, and then they go, that's not good. I'm not going to do that again. But there can be a transfer of disease in that biting of the chickpea at that moment. So it doesn't mean that insects are not a problem. It just, they're less of a problem than in most pests. And the farmers have to, they do what they have to do to control them. These particular farmers, because it is a very rainy area, as well as a hot and dry area, but they do get a substantial amount of rain. They do have to think about weeds, and there are different tactics for that. Some of the farmers are no-till, some of the farmers are till. Some of them use pesticides when necessary. I don't believe any organic chickpeas were grown in this area because it wasn't dry enough. But I do believe a lot of the organic chickpeas grown in this country might be grown in Arizona, somewhere south. Maybe in California too. That's hotter. Maybe there's somebody on here that might know. I'm not sure. But great questions, everyone. And I see some questions coming in on some other episodes, which I will be more than happy to get to. So hang in there with me. I will definitely get to all of these questions. One more thing I wanted to talk about, which didn't make it into the chickpea episode in particular, is the nitrogen fixing. I know this might sound dull, but stay with me because it's kind of magical. So what chickpeas do, what chickpeas do and all legumes do, but chickpeas do it, I think, the most out of the whole family, is they do something called nitrogen fixing, which actually makes the soil better. So it's a symbiotic relationship with a particular bacteria that lives on the roots of the chickpea plant, and the chickpeas develop nodules. And the reason why we didn't show this in the video is because we don't like to just, kind of yak on about things that we can't visually show. And at that time in the season, at the harvest season, we couldn't really find the nodules at that point. They sort of dry out and shrink. But earlier in the season, when the plant is growing, these nodules develop, and the bacteria on these nodules are able to take nitrogen out of the atmosphere and fix it to convert it to nitrogen that can be used by plants in the soil. And nitrogen is essentially like a fertilizer. It's a nutrient that plants need to grow. And I think we mention it back in our, we go a little bit further into it, maybe in the, cauliflower episode. Season 1, go back to season 1, and I think look at cauliflower. I think we talk about nitrogen there. So that was like a really awesome thing, and I think that few people in the comment section actually mentioned it, which was very cool. And hopefully we will be able to go into that a little bit more on a future legume crop, right? Lentils or maybe soybeans or things like that in the beginning. Daniel Kim asks, are chickpeas used for biofuel? Not that I know of. I don't, and not in the U.S. anyway. The chickpeas are mostly used for consumption. That I know, edible consumption, as far as I know. How will the climate change affect future chickpea farming? That's an excellent question. It was really interesting. It was the first time that we did a crop where the farmers actually didn't irrigate. So there was no infrastructure, unlike, say, the episode before, right, for tomatoes, where water was a really key thing. And we talked about drip irrigation underneath the ground. There's no irrigation on these thousands and hundreds of thousands of acres of chickpeas and wheat and all the crops that they do in rotation on the Palouse. So climate change probably will increasingly become a factor out there, as the farmers depend on the rain in the winter and the fall to actually kind of to nourish their crops through the growing season. And chickpeas in particular have really deep roots, so they're able to tap the water that is stored underneath during those hot, dry summers. So great question. Thank you, Rodney. That was a question by Rodney Lessard. And great questions, guys. Okay, so Koba, hi Koba, you are asking, how do you investigate a crop that you'll feature in a future video? Okay, so I should say that one of the upcoming videos that we've been working on, guys, is a behind the scenes, like, process video. How do we make these videos? So talking about everything that goes into the making of an episode of How Does It Grow. So I will be going into this in much greater depth in an upcoming video, but there's tons of research. Pre-production, we call, before we actually hit the ground filming. Like, when we start filming, we know by that point exactly what we're there to do. I have a script. I have a shot list, every shot that I want to get while we're there. All the research happens ahead of time. I start with books. I don't know if you guys can see, but I've got a vast collection of books. And sort of lower down where you can't see right now is two huge volumes of the Cambridge World History Encyclopedia, if you will, of food, in particular Cambridge World History of Food. I often start there. I have botany books. I have all kinds of reference books. And often I add to the collection if I can find single topic books, like I got a particular bean book when I was doing chickpeas. So I always start with books, and then the next is, I don't know how many of you guys know, but my background is journalism. So I put on my little journalist cap, and I make lots and lots of calls. And the foundational information comes from the farmer, him or herself, the person that we're going to feature on camera. I am on the phone with them, and I probably ask them more questions they've ever been asked about their crop in their entire life. And it's usually like 2 hours, and I take copious notes, and then from there I go and make more calls to experts for clarity and confirmation and other questions that come out of those questions, and I just pursue it from there. So lots of research happens in the making of these films. And we'll be going into it on an upcoming episode, behind the scenes, how we make these videos video. I just want to pause and say hello, welcome to anybody just joining us. I'm Nicole Jolly. This is True Food TV. Make sure you're hitting that bell, that notification bell, so that you know whenever there's a new video. And we have started doing these live streams every 2 weeks, just to recap on the latest videos and to chat and to take your questions and just to say hello and to connect with you guys, my wonderful, wonderful friends here on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to keep things going here. There's lots of great questions coming in. So let's see. Inunu29 says, can you sometimes upload behind the scenes video as a spare video perhaps? Okay, there you go. Just mentioned that. We've got a great behind the scenes video coming up. And another thing, which will be coming up very soon in a very cool announcement. I'm glad you asked me about small, sort of short behind the scenes-y video stuff. So the answer is yes, and I'll tell you how you can access that material in just a few minutes. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Okay, Amal, you are asking, Amal A, how do you get all these farms to allow you to film? That's a great question. By and large, we've been very welcomed by most of the farms that we have reached out to. Excuse me. And we've been very lucky. There have been times where more than anything, it's not an outright like, no, we don't want you to come film. We don't want you filming what we do. More than anything, it's just a timing thing. You know, often we want to shoot in the middle of harvest, and it's a really busy season for people. So they might feel overwhelmed to have us around. But we try to keep it so that we're not overwhelming them and we stay out of their hair as much as possible. But by and large, we've had really great response, and people generally agree to let us film and to share their story, because these are stories that people aren't hearing on any other place but on True Food TV. And most farmers recognize that, and they're eager to share their stories with the world. And we're so happy to be able to do that for them. So... great question. Thanks, Amal. Prashant, I'm sorry if I'm not saying your name correctly. You're asking, so how many of you saw our Flying Farmer episode? It's this season, so season 3. Go back if you haven't seen it. It's the only one that we haven't titled How Does It Grow? But it is a How Does It Grow? In fact, if we had titled it, it would be Lemon. How does it grow? But this was specifically lemons as they were grown on the Amalfi Coast, a particular special Amalfi lemon. And Prashant asks, the Flying Farmer Amalfi Coast. Oh, he says, your best episode ever. Thank you. Very poetic. Tell us something more about that. Yes, that was one of my favorite episodes that we've ever done. He's so special, isn't he? That particular farmer at the time, 85 years old. I think, well, he's certainly 85 now. He might have been 84 at the time. Gigino. And Gigino was a true poet. He has such a poet's soul and such a deep connection to his land, a product of generations of lemon farming, and a type of farming that is special to that area. So he is deeply connected to the land there, and his whole family is involved. It's an agricultural industry that's sort of dying away. So he feels very passionate about what he does and the survival of it. And as we said in that video, and guys, if you haven't seen it, please go back and watch this one. There is such an amazing connection to those lemons and the actual survival of the stunning Amalfi Coast, one of the most beautiful places in the world, that sits above the ocean, and how the lemon trees are actually holding the earth together. How these ancient trees are helping to anchor the soil. So go back and watch that if you haven't. It is one of my favorite episodes. So many of you are asking for a mango episode. I see. I am working hard on doing that this coming year, and I want to do it right. My dream would be to come to India and do mangoes, so I'm really working hard on that, guys. To all of my Indian friends out there, I am working so hard on getting to your magnificent country and doing a lot of crops there. So fingers crossed for me, guys. It's lots of factors go into that. The funding to getting a crew over there, to spending time on the ground filming over there, to general logistics of making that happen. So we are working on it. And I can tease you by saying we have booked our first tropical crop. I know you guys have been asking for tropical crops for a really long time, and yeah, I'm so excited. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm open to hearing your guesses. What is that first tropical crop going to be? It is a crop that is not obscure. It touches everyone's life. I mean, I would be aghast if you hadn't eaten a food made with this crop. So I'm super excited to do it, and that's going to be coming up. We'll be filming that in the coming months. Let's see what else. Okay, Cecilia S. Any worthy topic from tropical countries? Hey, I'm a mind reader. That you can add to your roster of videos. Like I just said, we are totally doing tropical crops, and we have our first one coming up. Nishant, back to chickpeas. You are asking, have you ever tried Indian chickpea curries? Oh, yes, I have. I have. I am lucky enough to have some pretty good Indian food nearby, and I love chickpeas in general, but I love Indian chickpea dishes. Of course, we mentioned chana masala in the episode, which is, a hugely popular Indian dish here. And I know there's tons of other chickpea dishes in the Indian canon. It is, and I am looking forward to eating my way through India when we get over there. And also, guys, I would love to hear how you enjoy chickpeas. Let me know in the comments how you most enjoy chickpeas. Because it is such an international crop, as we said in the history section, right? I mean, all around the world, from the Middle East to the Mediterranean to the Asian continent, we love our chickpeas. In fact, America is just learning, really, right? We're really kind of new to chickpeas. We're just learning how to really make the most of them. So give us some ideas. I am going to pause and say that before it's too late, because I'd love to take your questions on this, I'm going to just pause and say a big announcement, a big way that you guys can be a part of True Food TV in a more meaningful way. And it ties in to a lot of the things that you're asking me here about behind the scenes videos, about going, abroad to tropical regions. And so basically I want to tell you, and I don't know how many of you have noticed, but we have just launched our True Food TV membership program. A lot of you have asked if we can start a Patreon or something like that. Well, YouTube recently rolled out a program that's like Patreon, where it's a membership program where for a monthly membership, you guys get amazing perks, some insider stuff. So let me show you what it looks like. If you go to our True Food TV channel page, this is on the desktop where you're looking. If you see below my arm in that picture, there is a join button, a blue join button. That's where you click to join the membership program. And that price is set by YouTube, so I don't have control right now over what that the price of the membership is. But just for the price of a cup of coffee, of a cup of of nice coffee here, you guys have access to a lot of very cool extra content. So when you guys join the membership program, you'll get a little badge which will indicate to me, when you guys leave me comments, who are in my special membership program, and I will be sure, my ears will perk up, and I will be certainly sure to get to your comments, because sometimes there's a lot of comments and I can't get to them all as hard as I try, but I will scan and look for those membership badges and make sure that I take special attention there. So you will get a special membership badge, which will change as the time of your membership increases. But the best part is that you are going to receive exclusive content. So members are going to receive this coming week a special exclusive episode that only you guys will be able to see on my channel, which is a special bonus recipe that I did related to chickpeas. And it's a recipe that I'm so passionate about, because it is something that I make all the time. So those of you who sign up for the membership program will be getting that this week. And I want to say a special shout out. I don't know if are you here? But to our first ever, I'm going to shout out our first ever member, because when he signed up, I noticed, and that is Tim Gray. Tim Gray, are you here? I should look at the Mark, let me know if Tim is in the in the comments area if you're watching right now. But thank you very much, Tim, and hopefully all of you will follow in his illustrious footsteps. He is going to receive that special bonus recipe video. But was it Amal who asked for behind the scenes video? I'm not sure, but special behind the scenes videos we will definitely be putting up for members to see. So when I'm on the ground, I am going to be doing a lot of short vlogs and behind the scenes moments, stuff that, that I haven't, had the time to put out, but I'm going to make a point to do for my members. You guys are going to see that exclusively on our channel. So if you guys can support our channel, and that's really what this membership program is about. It's about supporting True Food TV. So you'll have access to all of this extra content. Also dedicated live streams to come. We'll be doing members only live streams where I'll be paying much closer attention to all of the wonderful comments that you guys are putting up right now. I will, ooh, yay, new member, woo woo. I see, welcome, Ken, wait, is it Awful? I'm sorry if I'm butchering your last name. Welcome, Ken, thank you. Thank you very much. So this is really about supporting the channel, guys. We are actively finding ways to make True Food TV our priority. Mark and I run this channel. It's a very small team, and our day jobs is video production for other people. So the sponsorship that we get, Sabra, who sponsored our chickpea episode, Prego, who sponsored our tomato episode, and all the ones that came before, they allow us to make this content for you. And this membership program is a new way that you can help support this channel and make sure that we are bringing content to you faster, more frequently. We just want to make these videos for you. This is where our passion lies. This is what we want to do. So signing up for that membership program means that we are making more videos for you. So thank you guys for considering that this holiday season, a gift to yourself and to us. Thank you for considering it and for sharing it and telling others. Guys, if you are not finding the membership button on your iPhone, on your mobile device, because I have struggled to find where that join button is, go to a computer, look up our channel in the desktop format. I know that you will see the join button there for sure. And I apologize. YouTube, this is a new program that YouTube is still working out the kinks. I have a question into my partner manager, my YouTube partner manager. She should help me with telling you guys where to find the join button on your mobile phone. There's also one issue that I have found. There was a friend in our community from Kenya. He says that it doesn't seem that the program is available in his country, so it hasn't rolled out to all countries, but it has rolled out to many countries. So if you're interested, do look into it. You might have to go onto the desktop to find the join button. But in the meantime, make sure you're clicking the bell for notifications for all videos that come up, and meet me on these social channels. Hook up with us there. Talk to me there. I'll go back to taking your questions now. There's one that came in from Fazal Mahmoudi, who asks, what's my favorite fruit? It's like asking a mom to name her favorite child. I know, that's the worst response, right? Okay, so today I'm going to tell you that one of my favorite fruits is a mangosteen. I love mangosteens. Do you guys know what mangosteens are? I know a lot of you do. It is very rare here in the US. It's a tropical fruit. It's sort of, it's about maybe this round, yeah? And it is a sort of purplish color with a very interesting sort of, I don't think it's botanically it's not probably called a leaf, but sort of a very hard green sort of leaf structure up at the top, and a very thick skin. And you peel that, and the taste, oh my God, the flesh is, I guess, more like in the lychee family, maybe. But it is divine. And I sort of pine for it because I can't get it regularly here. There are a few sources here in Philadelphia, but it's not like I can go to my supermarket and get it. But I love mangosteens. They're one of my favorite. Mangoes, yes, are one of my favorites. And let's see, strawberries are a great one. I love all fruit, though. I'm really hard pressed to think of a fruit that I don't like. Who's asking me this? Tell us your favorite chickpea dish. Oh God, my favorite chickpea dish. Well, if you become a member, you're going to see a recipe. You'll be able to make one of my favorite chickpea dishes. This particular dish was probably my son's favorite food ever. My son is 3.5 now. So as a baby, I would feed him this, and he loved it. So you're going to get that recipe if you become a member. I see that the evil genius says there is a dish called chol, am I getting this right? Chol kulchi, I'm sorry, of chickpeas in North India. Tell me about that. Tell me more about that. What is that like? Well, how do you make that? My favorite Indian restaurant is a Punjabi place in Philadelphia here where I live. And you have to find it by going behind an Indian supermarket. Go to the back, and there is a curtain. It's called Donna Mandy for you locals. And behind a gold curtain is a very no-frills eating area. And it is filled with, Indian immigrants who are looking for a taste of home. And I always look like if the people whose cuisine is being served there or eating there, that's probably a really good sign. And it is delicious. It is fiery hot, and I love spicy food, but it is really hardcore. But I love it. It's like slightly addicting in that way, isn't it? And that's probably my favorite Indian restaurant here in Philly. Hey, Nakzoot, thank you. Thank you for the $20 donation. That is awesome. High five, you lovely person. Thank you so much. He or she says, awesome content. Vanilla or aloe vera episode. Yes. Oh my God. Vanilla, which my husband makes fun of me for saying that way. Vanilla, I think, is the proper pronunciation. I'll get it right before doing that episode. Is such an interesting crop. And I would love to go to the top source, which is Madagascar, to do a vanilla episode. Do you guys know how that grows? They grow in these amazing like bean pods, right? That start off green, look very much like string beans. I don't know if you've heard, but vanilla has become really expensive lately due to an agricultural issue, which is, there's been some weather issues. It's just not been a great season for vanilla farmers, and that trickles down. So we see it in our prices here. A lot of bakeries aren't able to use real vanilla because of the pricing issue. But it's fascinating. Once you know a bit about agriculture, right? That's why you guys are all here, right? Once you know a little bit about your food, it makes sense to you when you go into a store and you're like, oh my God, why is that so expensive? Maybe there's something going on from the farm level. Anyway, thank you so much for your donation. Thomas McBride, hey friend, hi. Are you coming back to England to do any more videos soon? As Thomas, a longtime fan of How Does It Grow and True Food TV, knows, I take an annual trip to England. My husband is English, and so we go back and visit family every year. So yes, we will be back. Generally we're there like August, September. Maybe I'll do like a meetup, an English meetup. Would you guys be into that? Like when I'm on the ground in England, do like a UK meetup of friends? I don't know. Maybe in London. I don't know. Anyway, yes, I will. I should be there this year, and I am hoping to film a crop. I have yet to film a crop in England. Well, that's not true. We did a short mini lavender video. Did you guys see that? That was a long time ago, a few years back. We went to a lavender farm and talked a bit about using lavender as a culinary herb rather than like a scent like we all think about. But anyway, yes, so see you soon. And Janvinth, you are asking me what is your favorite kind of pasta? Oh God, I just went to an amazing local restaurant, Dolce Zola, which is right outside of Philadelphia, that make their own pasta. So I have pasta on the brain right now. Oh, what is my favorite pasta? Like, that's again like asking me to choose my favorite child. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am half Italian. So my grandparents on my father's side emigrated from southern Italy not that long ago. And so I have a deep love of Italian food. What's my favorite pasta? Oh, that's a good. I recently ate a great tonarelli, so I love that. I have a great episode. Do you guys remember after I did the Flying Farmer episode, I did a sort of a part 2 where I did an adventure, a day in Napoli, and I learned how to make an amazing spaghetti al limone. So I love long pastas, spaghettis, linguine, you name it. Yeah. I'm getting multiple requests for mangosteen, like as a How Does It Grow episode. So yeah, I know, guys, I will love to do that since that is one of my favorite fruits. Definitely on the list. And that's why our new membership program is so important. Help us get our crew over to where mangosteens grow. Help us make that episode. And I'll take a pause not only to drink, but also to say hello to anybody who's joined us. Hi, I'm Nicole Jolly. Welcome to True Food TV. Join me on all of these social channels and make sure you're clicking that notification bell on YouTube so you know when we are going to do our next live stream video, when our next How Does It Grow is up, when our special behind the scenes How Do We Make This video is coming up, and all of that good stuff. And you know when to connect with us there. I just want to also say, because I know I'm talking a lot about membership, and we realize that it is not possible for all of you to be a part of our membership program. And listen, I don't want anybody to feel bad about that. I totally understand that. And we love you all. And I promise we are not going to lock any How Does It Grow behind any sort of like membership program wall. The membership program are just going to be about extras, a bit more behind the scenes content, a bit more sort of rough and ready, me, like on the farm as we're filming it, talking to you, letting you guys know what's going on. But I will never put How Does It Grow behind like a firewall or any of our regular content. I promise you that. So I do understand if you can't be a part of the membership program right now, but if you can, I hope that you do consider supporting True Food TV in that way, and you'll get all of those really amazing extras as a thank you for being a part of that. In the last live stream, I talked about we were also working on merchandise, and that's another great way that you'll soon be able to support our channel. So soon you'll be able to buy some t-shirts and some hats with the True Food TV logo and some other extra special designs that we're trying to roll out before the Christmas season, in case you have a friend or family member who is also a True Food TV fan. And if they're not, you should give it to them anyway and introduce them to the channel, right? Great idea, yeah? Okay. So let me just go back and say, okay. So getting back to you, Thomas McBride. Hey, good luck studying plant science. You are now at university studying plant science. Good luck. Best of luck. You're going to rock it out. I know you've been long interested in that topic. So great. And welcome. Oh, hi. Hello, India. Oh, thank you guys. I'm getting so many lovely comments. Has anyone tried chickpea pasta? I just asked from Rodney just asked. Is it good? I haven't. I'd love to find out. Guys, should I try chickpea pasta? Nishant, thank you so much. I got a $40 donation from Nishant. Thank you so much. Really, I'm so touched. Hi, I love your videos. Thank you so much. I love you for supporting our channel and for watching. Thank you so much, guys. Means the world to us. It really will just go straight into helping us produce more content. How about an episode for turnips? All right. Okay. Is there excitement about turnips? You know what? I'm always up for a good challenge because especially those like run-of-the-mill crops, what I would call like sort of like your most common crops that don't seem exotic or, chickpeas was one that I think a lot of people can't picture how they grow until they watch our video. But a turnip, I always think is like maybe like a regular kind of crop. But if you guys are interested in it, I am up for the challenge of making an interesting turnip video. All right? We'll put it on the list. Javant. Okay, let's see. Hi guys, hello. Make a video on pigeon peas. Cool. Okay, I'll add pigeon peas to the list. Our list, guys, by the way, is so vast and so long. We are constantly shifting and prioritizing based on season, but we are probably more than ever really sort of methodically planning out these videos and getting them all lined up so that we are hopefully filming on a farm each and every month of the season, throughout the season, and going to the regions in our country and hopefully abroad where there's harvesting going on. Rice, yes. I see coconut, yes. Oh my God. Okay, so rice, I've been dying to do for a really long time, and hopefully we'll be doing that soon. But I'm really insistent that I want to go to a major global region for rice. So I know I can do that in my own country, but the U.S. isn't a major supplier of rice. I would really love to do that crop in probably Southeast Asia or somewhere or India, where rice is a really meaningful part of the cuisine. So stay tuned for that. We're working on it. And coconuts would be super cool. They're definitely on the list. Wow, hey, Gabriel, man, you're saying you grew 6,000 pounds of vegetables. Shout out to all my farmers who work so hard and watch this series. Power to you. Thank you for joining us here, and rock on. Thank you for feeding us. Let's see. Let me just stop and say hello to all the countries joining us. Greece, Puerto Rico, Pakistan, Brazil, Netherlands, Philippines, Italia, Bahrain, Mexico. Welcome. Hola, ciao. I'll brush up on all of my international hellos. But thank you. So thrilled to have you joining us. I said this earlier. I'm going to just say it again. Let me know in the comments section, guys, even if you're watching this on the playback, is this a good time for live stream? I started this at, it's Saturday today. It's noon Eastern time. Is this a good time for you guys? And if not, tell me what time you would rather see the live stream. We're trying to get it right so that we can get as many of you around the world as possible to join and be able to talk to me. And we have like 5 minutes left, so I'm really going to focus right now on the comments, so I can be talking to you while you are here. Have you ever tried a Paw Paw? That comes in from Cowboy Dan. That is one of the few native fruits to the United States. No, I have not tried a Paw Paw yet. I have to fix that. Dan, tell me, how does a Paw Paw taste? I've heard about it. I've seen pictures of it. I've read about it. It is not grown agriculturally here, so I have to fix that. Robert M., have you ever seen or tried a Paw Paw? Is from the U.S. Most people don't know it. It's becoming popular at farmers markets. I haven't seen it at my farmers markets here, but hey, oh, I just noticed, but I will look out for it. Ken, now that you are a member of our membership program, I am seeing you with your membership tag. An episode on olives would be good, or for more of a challenge, Brussels sprouts. Yes and yes. We are actively working on olives right now. More on that soon. So that's super exciting. Specifically olive oil and Brussels sprouts. Yeah, I've been thinking about Brussels sprouts for a long time. If you guys haven't seen the way Brussels sprouts grow, super cool looking. And it's really quite a seasonal vegetable right now. So yes, Ken, I will try to prioritize that. That's probably a really good one for now, the colder months. Oh, it's Sunday in India. The evil genius just told me it's Sunday in India right now. So is Sunday a good time for live stream? Let me know. Let's see. This time the video is not pausing. Great to hear that feedback. I apologize in person now for our first live stream. Our last live stream, the quality was so bad, and we actually changed internet providers as a result of that. So I'm so glad to hear that that is sorted out and it's looking good. Good. I'm hearing feedback about when the live stream. Did you hear about durian fruit? Of course I've heard of durian fruit. I have, the first time I actually saw durian fruit was when I was in Singapore many years ago now, and would see signs posted, no durian fruit eating in this place, like you were not allowed to eat durian fruit because of the notorious smell of durian fruit. We will definitely be doing a durian fruit video when we get to a major growing region or a major eating region, because it's not very popular here in the States, but very interesting. Let's see. Will you do any videos in Hindi? I am so glad you mentioned that, because I do want to take a brief moment to thank our Hindi translator on our Chickpea episode. We put out a shout out to our community, to you guys, asking for somebody to write some captions in Hindi for us. And our friend Abhishek, thank you so much for doing a rocking job on that. And to those of you who have looked at this captions and contributed to them, we really wanted it for this chickpea episode because we knew that chickpeas are such a key ingredient in Indian food. And he did an amazing job on those. And if you guys, hearing your feedback, if you guys want more Hindi subtitles, closed captions, we will do it. We will do it now that we have, we know some friends who are willing to contribute. And thank you again, Abhishek. You did an amazing job. And thank you, as always, to our friend Wei, who is a part of our True Food TV team. And she does all of the English closed captioning. And you guys know how long the How Does It Grow videos are. It is a lot of work, a tremendous amount of work. Thank you, Wei. We love you. In the few minutes I have left, let's see. Love the apple and cranberry episode. That's by Anne. Thank you so much. And have you guys seen, I went back and did a Cranberry Harvest video. So we did the Cranberry How Does It Grow video a few years back now, and I always regretted not really getting in there and harvesting. Like, I did get into the bog, I pushed the stick a little bit, but I wasn't actively participating in the way that we do all the time now. And I think that's really important for you guys to see me try my hand at harvest, because all of the harvesters make it look so easy because they're so skilled. So I went back to the Lee Brothers farm where we filmed that original episode, and I made a dedicated harvest video because I learned so much more about that process and how physically challenging it is to actually do it. It was so super fascinating. So look back for that episode if you haven't seen it. It's not a How Does It Grow episode. It is a special standalone video, maybe three videos ago. Look back, you'll find that video. And then, okay, let me just get to just a few more comments before I have to say goodbye. Are you married? Yes, I'm afraid so. I am married, and actually my husband is the man behind the camera. All of that beautiful imagery that you guys see in every How Does It Grow videos, in every video, is due to his talent, and his long suffering when it's like a chickpea video and he's getting pelted with dust. Let's see. You enjoyed the avocados. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. Cherries. Yes, we will definitely. Daniel, good idea. Yes, I'm working on cherries for this coming summer season. Love to do them. All right, guys. That about does it for me. Thank you so much for joining me. If you can join our membership program, please consider it. And in any other way that you can help support our channel, even by just sharing it with your friends. The more subscribers we get, the more appealing we are to sponsors, and the more support we will get to make our content more frequently. Make sure you are connecting with me on social and hitting that notification bell, so you never miss an episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you very soon on True Food TV. I love you guys dearly. Thank you so much. Thank you. See you soon. Bye.